Hello, steady Taurus. There are moments in life when growth doesn't arrive with noise or urgency, but through a quiet realization that your roots are reaching deeper than you once believed. This reflection begins in one of those moments, inviting you to look back on your experiences with kindness instead of judgment, allowing what no longer nourishes you to settle naturally into the rich soil of your story. Every feeling has its place, whether it brings comfort, sorrow, or the uncertainty that often appears whenever life gently asks you to loosen your grip on what has become familiar. Even your most difficult seasons have carried something worth preserving. Beneath every challenge lies a lesson that has slowly shaped your resilience, helping you become more aligned with the person you are meant to grow into. Healing does not ask you to erase the past. It asks you to hold it with patience until its weight begins to transform into quiet wisdom. Like an old tree drawing strength from deep roots, you become stronger each time you allow compassion to replace self-criticism. As this inner shift unfolds, you may notice yourself feeling more naturally connected to people who value honesty, loyalty, and mutual support. Relationships built on genuine respect create space for meaningful collaboration, reminding you that lasting success rarely grows in isolation. Giving and receiving become part of the same rhythm, and when you offer your presence with sincerity, that generosity often returns in ways that strengthen both your confidence and your sense of belonging. Your calm example may quietly encourage others to trust their own path without comparison. Whenever life begins moving too quickly, remember that your greatest clarity often comes through stillness. A peaceful walk beneath open skies, the steady sound of flowing water, mindful breathing, or simply sitting in silence can reconnect you with what truly matters. Growth does not lose its value because it unfolds gradually. Every thoughtful choice becomes another stone laid carefully along the path you are building, creating a foundation that can support everything you hope to become. As your attention turns inward, old fears and lingering doubts may begin asking to be acknowledged rather than pushed away. Instead of forcing answers, allow awareness to shine gently on the parts of yourself that have waited patiently to be understood. What once felt like an obstacle can slowly become fertile ground for wisdom, revealing that each challenge has contributed something meaningful to the person you are still becoming. This journey is less about changing who you are and more about remembering the strength that has always lived beneath the surface. Remain open to subtle moments that seem to arrive with quiet purpose. Insight may emerge through an unexpected conversation, a peaceful moment in nature, or a simple realization that changes how you see yourself. Trust the wisdom that grows from lived experience, allowing curiosity to replace fear whenever uncertainty appears. The more honestly you accept yourself, the more naturally your actions begin reflecting your true values, inspiring others through authenticity rather than perfection. Acts of kindness, patient listening, and genuine encouragement create ripples that extend farther than you may ever realize. By caring for your own well-being, you also create space for others to believe in their own capacity to heal and grow. Let your heart remain open to what is unfolding without needing to control every outcome. Lasting transformation is often quiet, unfolding one thoughtful step at a time, and each step reminds you that real security begins within. Remember that every interpretation offered here is symbolic, rather than absolute. Some reflections may resonate deeply, while others may simply not reflect your present experience, and both responses are equally valid. Your path is uniquely your own, so receive what feels meaningful, trust your own discernment, and allow the rest to pass without resistance. In the reflections ahead, we'll continue exploring how these themes may be expressed through your relationships, personal well-being, resources, and the connections that help shape your everyday life. If this reflection has brought you a sense of clarity or quiet encouragement, I would truly appreciate your support with a like. Every gesture of encouragement helps this community continue growing and allows me to keep creating these reflections with care, intention, and gratitude for everyone who chooses to spend this time here. Instead of looking for signs outside yourself, consider the symbols that help you feel grounded within. A gentle shade of moss green, soft olive, or warm earth tones can serve as reminders of stability, renewal, and quiet confidence. These colors are not promises of good fortune, but meaningful reflections of the calm strength that grows when your outer world begins to match the peace you are cultivating inside. One word seems to echo through this chapter of your journey: agreement. Not agreement born from giving yourself away, but the kind that grows from listening with sincerity and recognizing that lasting understanding often asks each person to soften their certainty. Whether the conversation involves family, friendships, work, or shared dreams, real progress begins when everyone feels heard. Compromise is not a sign of weakness. It is often the foundation on which trust is patiently built. For Taurus, whose nature values loyalty and stability, there can be a quiet temptation to hold tightly to familiar positions simply because they have always felt safe. Yet some of life's strongest partnerships emerge when you allow space for another perspective to stand beside your own. Shared purpose has a way of accomplishing what determination alone cannot, reminding you that enduring success is rarely created in isolation. You may also become more aware of someone close to you who needs compassion, reassurance, or simply your presence. Their experience does not have to become your burden, but it may gently invite you to reconsider what truly deserves your energy and attention. Offering support with an open heart often strengthens both people, creating a deeper appreciation for the relationships that sustain us through life's changing seasons. At the same time, remember that every person's path unfolds differently. These reflections are possibilities for contemplation rather than guarantees, and your own experience will always remain uniquely your own. Sometimes another person's challenge becomes an unexpected teacher, revealing patience, gratitude, or resilience that could not have been discovered in any other way. If uncertainty has lingered around someone whose intentions you questioned, allow yourself to leave room for understanding before rushing toward conclusions. Not every unanswered question requires an immediate solution. There are moments when truth reveals itself naturally, and as your heart becomes quieter, misunderstandings often begin dissolving on their own, making space for trust to grow at its own steady pace. You may also notice a subtle sense of connection forming beneath ordinary moments. Whether it appears through meaningful conversations, shared values, or an unexpected feeling of familiarity, allow yourself to remain open without forcing outcomes. The strongest bonds often begin gently, rooted in authenticity rather than urgency, inviting you to meet others from a place of quiet confidence instead of expectation. The Ace of Cups reflects the opening of the heart. Rather than predicting a specific event, it symbolizes your growing willingness to receive and express genuine emotion with honesty. Vulnerability becomes less frightening when you recognize that true connection is built through sincerity instead of perfection. The Fool does not ask you to abandon everything you have built. For Taurus, it represents trusting yourself enough to take one thoughtful step beyond what feels comfortable, knowing that growth often begins where certainty ends. Whether that means exploring a creative idea, embracing a new opportunity, or simply allowing yourself to imagine a different future, this card reminds you that lasting change is often created through quiet courage rather than dramatic leaps. When a new path begins to call you, trust yourself enough to take one meaningful step instead of waiting until every uncertainty disappears. Growth rarely asks for perfection before it asks for movement. Often, the quiet courage to leave familiar ground becomes the very moment that softens old fears and reveals possibilities you could not have imagined while standing still. The Tower appears not as a symbol of destruction, but as a reminder of everything you have already survived. The foundations that once felt shaken have taught you where genuine strength lives, allowing what no longer supports your well-being to fall away naturally. Rather than fearing what has changed, you can recognize that difficult seasons have prepared richer soil for something stronger to take root. The wisdom you carry now has been earned through experience, and it quietly supports every decision you make moving forward. Death represents renewal through release. It invites you to loosen your attachment to habits, beliefs, or relationships that have fulfilled their purpose, making room for a more authentic version of your life to emerge. For Taurus, transformation is rarely rushed. It unfolds the way a landscape changes with the seasons, gradually replacing what has become exhausted with fresh opportunities to grow, love, and build a life that reflects who you are becoming, rather than who you once needed to be. The star offers a gentle reminder that hope is often strongest after periods of uncertainty. It encourages you to trust the quiet wisdom that rises from within whenever your mind becomes still enough to hear it. Inspiration may arrive through simple moments, thoughtful conversations, or an unexpected sense of peace rather than dramatic revelations. By remaining faithful to your values, you naturally become a calming presence whose steadiness encourages others as much as it strengthens you. You may also find yourself becoming more aware of the well-being of those you love. Offering kindness, encouragement, or practical support can deepen your relationships. But caring for others should never come at the expense of your own health. True generosity begins with a well-nourished spirit and a body that receives the same patience and compassion you freely extend to everyone else. Listening to your body's signals, moving regularly, resting when needed, and choosing habits that sustain you are all expressions of self-respect. There is lasting truth in the simple idea that you care for others best when you also care for yourself. Balance is not selfish. It is the foundation that allows your presence to remain steady during both joyful and difficult moments. Every healthy choice becomes another route extending deeper into the life you are cultivating. In your professional life, relationships built on trust and mutual respect may become one of your greatest strengths. Even when progress feels quiet, shared effort often creates opportunities that would be difficult to achieve alone. Honest communication, reliability, and a willingness to contribute without seeking recognition immediately can strengthen both your confidence and the respect others have for your work. A supportive environment grows through consistent actions more than grand gestures. If you're exploring a new career path or searching for meaningful work, allow your genuine character to speak as clearly as your experience. Showing people what you value and how you approach your work often leaves a deeper impression than trying to compete for attention. Authenticity has its own quiet influence, especially when it is supported by preparation and steady confidence. Your relationship with abundance also benefits from a patient perspective. Instead of waiting for dramatic opportunities, pay attention to the small openings that align naturally with your skills, values, and long-term vision. Financial stability is often built one thoughtful decision at a time through careful planning, measured risks, and a willingness to invest in what genuinely supports your future. If past financial challenges have left you cautious, let those experiences become wisdom rather than fear. Trust your ability to make balanced choices without rushing or forcing results. Every consistent step you take strengthens the foundation beneath your goals, reminding you that lasting prosperity is rarely created overnight, but is patiently cultivated through clarity, resilience, and quiet confidence. When it comes to the practical side of life, the people you share your home with can become some of your greatest strengths. Whether you live with a partner, family members, or roommates, working together with openness and shared responsibility often creates a greater sense of ease than trying to carry everything alone. Small decisions made together, being mindful of everyday expenses, planning ahead, or simply communicating honestly about priorities can gradually build a stronger feeling of security. Even simple routines like dividing responsibilities fairly or checking in with one another before making important decisions help create an atmosphere where everyone feels supported rather than overwhelmed. Lasting stability is rarely created by one dramatic change. It grows through many thoughtful choices made side by side, each one quietly reinforcing the trust that holds a household together. This is also a meaningful reminder to understand your own limits. Supporting others becomes far more sustainable when you recognize what you can genuinely offer without exhausting yourself. Taurus naturally values reliability, but true dependability comes from balance rather than self-sacrifice. There is wisdom in knowing when to step forward and when to pause, allowing yourself the same care and patience you readily extend to those you love. The strongest foundations are built when everyone contributes with honesty and respects one another's needs, creating relationships where support flows naturally instead of becoming an unspoken expectation carried by only one person. Love may also reveal itself through the people already standing close to you. A partner, a sibling, a trusted relative, or someone who has quietly supported your journey could become an unexpected source of encouragement and perspective. Sometimes the guidance you have been searching for is already present within the relationships that have consistently shown up for you, reminding you that trust is often built long before it is fully recognized. Looking more closely at the people who have remained steady through different chapters of your life may help you appreciate how deeply genuine care is expressed through consistency rather than grand declarations. If you are sharing your life with someone, your connection may grow strongest through meaningful conversations rather than grand romantic gestures. Discussing future plans, creative ideas, shared responsibilities, or the values that matter most can deepen your bond in lasting ways. These conversations allow both of you to dream together while also building practical foundations for the future, creating a partnership that feels emotionally secure as well as inspiring. Emotional intimacy is not measured only by affection. It is also strengthened each time you create a space where both people feel heard, respected, and understood. The willingness to listen with genuine curiosity can become just as meaningful as finding the perfect words. Clear communication becomes one of the greatest gifts you can offer. Expressing what you need with kindness allows those you love to understand your silence without fearing it. There are moments when solitude becomes necessary for reflection, and asking for that space honestly often strengthens trust far more than quietly withdrawing without explanation. Gentle honesty prevents misunderstandings from filling the gaps where conversation could have brought reassurance. Giving reassurance while honoring your own needs creates relationships that feel both safe and authentic, where openness is welcomed instead of feared. If you are single, there is no reason to force yourself toward experiences that do not genuinely resonate with you. You may feel more drawn toward restoring your own sense of peace, exploring personal interests, or enjoying the comfort of your own company. Rather than seeing this as a pause in your emotional life, you can recognize it as an opportunity to become even more connected with yourself and the values you hope to share with someone in the future. That is not emotional distance. It is a healthy reminder that meaningful connections often develop naturally when you are living in alignment with yourself rather than searching for validation. The more secure you become within your own life, the more naturally you attract relationships built on authenticity instead of expectation. Should someone new enter your life, approach the connection with honesty about what you truly hope to build. Allow the relationship to unfold at a pace that feels comfortable, instead of rushing to define every possibility. Give yourselves the freedom to learn who you are together before deciding where the path should lead. Authenticity creates far stronger beginnings than expectation, and mutual understanding grows more naturally when neither person feels pressured to become someone they are not. Relationships rooted in patience often develop a quiet strength that cannot be rushed into existence. Within your family, there may also be opportunities for deeper understanding. Conversations that once seemed difficult can become more compassionate when everyone is willing to listen before responding. Long-held patterns may gently reveal themselves, not to assign blame, but to offer a chance to respond differently with greater wisdom and patience. You may discover that some disagreements were sustained less by the original issue and more by assumptions that were never spoken aloud. Healing often begins when someone chooses curiosity instead of defensiveness, allowing empathy to take the place of old habits that no longer serve the relationship. Your calm presence has the potential to bring reassurance without needing to solve every problem. Simply showing up with consistency, warmth, and genuine attention can strengthen family bonds more than perfect advice ever could. People often remember how safe they felt in your presence long after they forget the specific words that were spoken. Small expressions of gratitude, thoughtful gestures, and moments of shared presence quietly reinforce the sense of belonging that allows both relationships and personal dreams to flourish on a steady, enduring foundation. Over time, these seemingly ordinary acts become the quiet threads that weave lasting trust, reminding everyone around you that genuine connection is built through care that is lived consistently rather than expressed only in extraordinary moments. There are seasons when your inner strength feels especially dependable, Not because everything around you is effortless, but because you have learned how to stand firmly within yourself. That quiet resilience becomes one of your greatest resources, allowing optimism to grow from lived experience instead of wishful thinking alone. You begin to recognize that real confidence is rarely loud or dramatic. It is the steady certainty that develops after you have faced uncertainty before and discovered that you are stronger than you first believed. Rather than scattering your attention in every direction, you are invited to invest your energy where it can create something lasting and meaningful, choosing depth over distraction and consistency over urgency. This is a valuable time to refine ideas that deserve patient care. Whether you are developing a creative project, strengthening a business, improving a practical skill, or laying the groundwork for future goals, thoughtful planning often becomes more powerful than rushing toward quick results. Some opportunities reveal their full potential only when they are given enough time to mature, much like seeds that quietly establish strong roots before anything visible appears above the surface. Progress that is carefully cultivated tends to endure, and every deliberate choice adds another layer of stability to what you are building. Trust that the smallest improvements, repeated with intention, often become the foundation for achievements that seem effortless only because of the care invested long before anyone else could see them. At the same time, be mindful of where your energy is being spent. Taurus naturally enjoys being dependable, but carrying every responsibility alone can quietly drain the very strength that others admire in you. Sometimes the desire to be reliable becomes so familiar that you forget to ask whether every obligation truly belongs to you. Caring for people you love should never require abandoning your own well-being. Rest, nourishment, movement, and moments of stillness are not distractions from your purpose. They are part of the foundation that allows you to continue showing up with clarity, patience, and generosity. The more consistently you care for yourself, the more naturally your presence becomes a source of stability for the people who rely on you. If you are studying or learning something new, remember that knowledge often grows deeper when it is shared. Working alongside classmates, exchanging ideas, or collaborating on projects can reveal perspectives you might never have discovered on your own. Every meaningful conversation has the potential to challenge assumptions, sharpen your understanding, and encourage you to see familiar subjects from a different angle. Learning becomes richer when curiosity is welcomed from different voices, and genuine cooperation often strengthens both understanding and confidence. Sometimes teaching someone else what you have learned becomes the very experience that helps you understand it more completely yourself. The people who naturally complement your journey are not defined solely by their zodiac sign, but by the qualities they bring into your life. Seek relationships that offer patience, honesty, emotional steadiness, and mutual respect. The most meaningful connections are often those where you feel safe enough to be fully yourself, and where your own presence encourages others to do the same. These relationships create space for honest conversations, shared growth, and quiet encouragement during moments when confidence feels fragile. Those are the connections capable of supporting both your personal growth and your dreams over time, reminding you that trust is built through countless small moments of consistency rather than a single extraordinary gesture. As this reflection comes to a close, remember that its purpose is not to predict your future or decide your next step for you. Instead, let it serve as a quiet companion, offering symbols and perspectives that help you better understand yourself and the patterns unfolding within your own life. Every reflection becomes most valuable when it inspires greater self-awareness rather than dependence on outside answers. Keep what genuinely resonates with your heart and allow everything else to pass without feeling that you must force it to fit your experience. Your own wisdom deserves just as much space in this conversation as any symbolic interpretation. If these reflections have brought you clarity, comfort, or a new perspective, I would be grateful if you showed your support by leaving a like. It helps these conversations reach others who may also be searching for thoughtful guidance and a place to pause amid the noise of everyday life. And if you would like to continue exploring these symbolic journeys together, you're warmly invited to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss future reflections. Your presence here helps shape a community built on curiosity, encouragement, and meaningful conversation. Thank you for sharing this time with me and for bringing your openness, curiosity, and trust into this space. Every person who returns to reflect, listen, and grow adds something valuable to this community, and I never take that for granted. I hope you carry forward a sense of calm confidence, knowing that the strongest foundations are built one intentional step at a time and strengthened through patience, compassion, and quiet perseverance. Until we meet again, take gentle care of yourself, honor the pace that feels true to you, and continue growing in the direction that reflects the life you genuinely want to create.